My father is turning 60, which is apparently a milestone marking that special age when a man can blissfully anticipate living out the rest of his days, or indeed weeks, without a care in the world or a thought in his head. He can now turn the fullness of his attention to lost remote controls, bits of string, and sleep. However, let us not think that he has an altogether easy time ahead. New and exciting challenges await him. The Sisyphean ordeal of mastering the personal computer, recognizing and remembering the names of all 3 of his friends, and urinating successfully. In an attempt to understand what my father might be going through right now, I endeavor to figure out just how old he really is. After all, 60 is just a number, but 1947 is a number and a year, and a rather eventful year at that. I'm not one to confuse the causal with the coincidental, but my dad is, because he believes in some bizarre notion called synchronicity, which was first discovered by Sting and the Police in 1983, which is the year in which I was born. Coincidence? Yes. Anyway, let us now travel back in time to 1947, otherwise known as 4280 to our Korean friends. At the beginning of the year was the Black Dahlia murder, so you could guess what kind of mood everybody was in right off the bat. Presumably, this was around the time my father was conceived, so either his parents were just trying to keep warm, or they got some weird kick out of dead people. The following month, the International Organization for Standardization was founded, which, despite its snazzy rhyming Jesse Jackson-style name, was dedicated solely to making the world a more boring place. One can almost believe that the stage was being deliberately set for my father's arrival. In April, Jackie Robinson became the first black man to play Major League Baseball, thereby breaking the color barrier. This is a foreshadowing of when my father would become the first man of normal intelligence to root for the Yankees, thereby breaking the idiot barrier. Meanwhile, in Roswell, New Mexico, rumors spread of an extraterrestrial spacecraft crash and a subsequent military cover-up. A cursory glance at the United States map will readily show how near to Texas Roswell is.
Slow down.
I'm not saying that my father is an alien of some kind, but I am saying space germs. For further evidence of intergalactic influence, one need look no further than the subsequent marriage of the then Princess Elizabeth and a Martian named Philip. My father was not the only important figure born in 1947 either. From the world of music, we have David Bowie, Emmylou Harris, Iggy Pop, and Elton John. Notable actors born that year include Richard Dreyfuss, Kevin Kline, and India's Rakhi Gulzar. Salman Rushdie and Paul Auster were authors born that year, as was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whose poignant memoir, Kareem, ranks among the finest works produced by the other 2 men. The world of politics was given Mitt Romney, Hillary Clinton, and Dan Quayle. And of course, from the world of murderers and all-around creepy people, O.J. Simpson. What does this all say about my father's generation? Well, certainly that they were a bunch of perverse weirdos. Beyond that, I really can't say. However, it does say something about my father. Out of this morass of political and social confusion came a man who embodies clear thinking and lucidity in his dreams. As a father, he is unparalleled, but I am biased in this opinion, having never given another one much of an opportunity to compete for the title. Out of his 60 years, 23 have been spent bravely dangling me like Achilles into a river of knowledge so that I might be better armed for intellectual combat. Why he chose to forego this process with Sonu and instead hand over Eris's golden apple with no qualms will forever remain a mystery to me, although I imagine it has something to do with his ever-weakening constitution. In a desperate last-ditch attempt to shore up the flagging edifice of my father's tenacity, I propose a toast to 1947 star attraction, the man who taught me how to read and write, ride a bike, creep people out, and generally abhor the company of idiots. Author of 2 books, countless articles, and 2 children. Husband to my mother, brother to some siblings, uncle to some nephews, teacher to some students, and in-law to some Indians. He is the Homer to my Bart, the Odysseus to my Telemachus, and the Holy Father to my Jesus Christ. My father, Michael Adams, is 60 years old, and he just keeps getting older.